Good morning, Pinewood scientists. Today's Wednesday, and I have a new science lesson for you today, but it's based on the same thing you've been learning about on Monday about paper airplanes and how an airplane flies, where it gets its energy from, and the different forces that are working on the plane. On Monday, you built a simple paper airplane that I showed you how to do, or you used the template from Mystery Science to build it, and you tested it out. Well, today, you get to design and build your own paper airplane. So you can build a totally new airplane out of plastic. A lot of you came up with your question on your flight log on how to improve your design. You said to fold it in a different way, or to make the wings bigger, or to make the wings more narrow, or to not use the elevator on the back. Those were some great ideas. And so you can fold your paper differently and try that out. Or some of you had the idea to make it lighter, or to add paper clips to it, or to use masking tape instead of paper clips. And you could do any of those ideas. So you can come up with a totally new design, or you can use the same airplane you used on Monday, but change it in some way to see if you can test it out to make it stay aloft longer. And then I gave you a new flight log, and you're going to test your new design 3 times again, time how long it stays in the air, and you're going to write your observations, and then there's a couple of questions for you to hand in. You did an awesome job on Monday, and I can't wait to see your flight logs for your new paper airplane. But I do have a couple things that might help you before you start designing. One, I'm going to read you a book called How I Learned to Fly about airplanes. So this might help you understand some different things about airplanes to build a better design. And second, I shared with you a brain pop. The password and username are in the directions on your Google Classroom. So you can go on there and watch about flight also, and that can give you some really good information on how to build a better airplane. So, how people learn to fly. When you see a bird flying, do you dream about flying too? Do you run with your arms out, imagining that you're soaring among the clouds? Do you make paper airplanes? Do you fly kites? If you do, you aren't alone. For thousands of years, people have dreamed of being able to fly. They watched birds and bats soar. They imagined people and other animals that could fly and told stories about them. They designed machines that they thought would be able to fly. They had many ideas. As they tried each new idea, they learned a lot. You can see some different airplane designs there. They learned about gravity. Gravity is the force that keeps everything on Earth's surface. Because of gravity, things have weight. If there were no gravity, people, dogs, cats, and everything else would go floating off into space. Gravity keeps us on the ground, even if we would rather be flying. People also learned about air. Air is made of tiny particles called molecules. When you walk or run, you push through air molecules. They push back on you too, even though you don't usually feel the push unless the wind blows. People learned that wind could push a kite into the sky. When air molecules push back on a moving object, that is a force called drag. You can feel drag for yourself. Hold out your arms. Now spin around. Feel the push of air on your arms and hands. That's drag. Like gravity, drag works against objects that are trying to fly. Kites were useful and fun, but people wanted more. They wanted to fly like birds. Birds had something that kites didn't. Birds had wings. People made wings and strapped them to their arms. They flapped their arms, but couldn't fly. They built gliders, light aircraft with wings. Some didn't work, but some did. The gliders that worked best had special wings. These wings were arched on both the top and the bottom. The air pulled the wings from above and pushed the wings from below. When the wings went up, so did the glider. Arched wings helped create a force called lift. Lift is the force that keeps birds and gliders in the air. So here you can see the bird's wing and some other ideas for wings. This might help you when you're designing new wings for your airplane, if that's something you wanted to try out. And here is the force of lift pushing up on that wing. Most gliders have long, thin wings. The wings create enough lift to carry the aircraft and its passengers. Gliders usually ride currents of air the same way a hawk soars. Gliders are very light, and long wings and air currents can give them enough lift to fly. But to carry more than just a passenger or two, an aircraft needs a lot more lift. The question is, how do you create more lift? You guys have an idea? How could you create more lift? An engine is the answer. An engine is a machine that changes energy into movement. The forward movement that an airplane needs to fly is called thrust. More thrust makes an airplane move forward faster. Moving faster creates more lift, and with more lift, an airplane can carry more weight. So an aircraft with an engine can carry passengers or cargo. In 1903, the Wright brothers figured out how to get wings and an engine to work together in order to give an airplane enough thrust to fly. They made the first powered flight at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. There's a drawing of the plane, and I believe the plane only stayed aloft for about 13 seconds. Since then, people have made airplanes that can fly faster than sound can travel. They have made airplanes that can fly all the way around the world without stopping. Today, thousands and thousands of people travel in airplanes every day. People really have learned to fly. All right, so now there's a brain pop for you to watch, and then build your own airplane and test it out. Submit your flight log again, and I cannot wait to see all the really cool airplane designs you guys come up with.